Is weird, odd, strange, or just plain bizarre is really your cup of tea? Then, the Golden State Media Concepts Weird News Podcast will give you that fix. Can't believe it? Well, listen for yourself as we deliver the strangest news you definitely won't find on CNN or Fox. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Weird News Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the GSMC Weird News Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host Colleen, and let's just get into some weird news. Or, in this case, weird trends. So, it is becoming the end of the year, end of 2019, and we're almost in 2020, guys. It's kind of nuts. Almost in 2020. This year has been weird, let me tell you. So I thought I'd talk about some of the weirdest trends, like internet trends and just trends in general that I noticed and I've, seen, and probably most of you have seen in 2019. Now, there are a lot of different trends in 2019, a lot of things that I thought were 2018, but just kidding, turns out they're 2019. So let's get into some basic weird trends. And we'll go into the more trends. Okay, so let's start with something that is newer, and that's this Baby Yoda trend. Now, it's not that strange because he is super adorable, but it's strange that it became so popular so fast. I mean, it just took the internet by storm in a day, which is mind-blowing and real weird, and I love Star Wars. I think I've said it on this podcast or another. I have said that I love Star Wars. It's a big thing. Love this trend. Fun fact, he's not Yoda. Doesn't work in the timeline. He's called the Child. That's the actual name that they've given him. But let's move on to something that's more weird. So, something that also took the internet by storm more towards the end of this year again would be White Claw. The alcoholic, seltzer drink. Now, it took the internet by storm because people were obsessed with it, and then a specific person went, and I wasn't exactly sure of his name, but he went and ended up doing this whole sketch about White Claws with the slogan, "Ain't no laws when you're drinking White Claws." I don't know. It's probably one of the weirdest things. It just came out of nowhere that suddenly this alcoholic beverage is this huge trend. Everybody's posting photos of their White Claws or, if you look up White Claw, the first thing you see is I think it's an Instagram post. I'm not sure who by, but it's like a tower of White Claws. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I've tried a White Claw. I'm not a fan. I mean, it's seltzer water, but alcoholic. It's just, I don't get the hype that it's suddenly got. I've seen this video. I'll post it probably on the Facebook and the Twitter at GSMC_weird news. And so you guys can see it too. And it's a really funny video, but I don't think that it was the video itself that really pushed White Claw into the, limelight of this. I'm really not sure. And I think it's so weird that when I was looking for, the weirdest trends of 2019, kind of trying to refresh my memory, but also just maybe find a few that I didn't know about, this was one of the things that showed up in almost all of the things that I looked at in my research was White Claws. I don't get it. I don't get it. One of the most popular Halloween costumes for this year was to dress up like a sexy White Claw. What? And then you had to drink White Claw to make your outfit make sense, but isn't that a weird form of White Claw, like cannibalism? I don't know. I don't know. I don't get the White Claw thing. If you understand how it got just so popular out of nowhere, tweet me. Tweet me on the GSMC_weird news Twitter and let me know, because I am so curious. I couldn't find anything that like definitively said that this is the reason that this got so popular so fast. It just kind of showed up. I couldn't find anything except for them being like, oh, it was this video that this guy made this funny video, but that doesn't make sense because he needed something to base the White Claw stuff off of. I don't know. I don't get it, and I think it's really weird that this beverage has suddenly become so popular and so viral, I guess. Is strange. Strange. Now, another thing that started to pop up recently that I also kind of seemed to come out of nowhere is this okay boomer trend. Now, they've been this whole year, it's been about, like, giving the names to each generation. You've got your boomers, your millennials, your Gen Z, all that kind of stuff. But then suddenly people are saying, okay, boomer. Like, it's so rude, guys. Like, that's so rude. I don't understand how something so rude could become so popular. I don't understand how this became popular in the first place. Why did it become popular to just be rude to your elders? Like, maybe they don't understand the stuff because they grew up in a different time. Who cares? Who cares? I just don't get it. It's so weird to me that this just kind of like came out of nowhere. I guess that we've been talking about, oh, like, boomers know this, but they don't know this, and millennials know this, but they don't know this, and the same with Gen Z, but I don't get where this okay boomer thing came from. I don't understand it. It's real strange. Who made this up? I could not find that. If you know, tweet me, Facebook me, let me know. This is one of those weird trends, and once again, it's a trend that really started becoming popular at the end of 2019, the end of this year. And suddenly everybody's saying it, and I just don't understand. I think that's just me when it comes to this. I think it's real weird. I think it's really disrespectful. And I'm gonna move on from that because I don't know. Strange. Don't say that to people. Come on. Don't follow that. It's pretty rude. Now, another thing that I noticed as a trend, and I noticed this throughout 2019, I guess, and I'm actually not sure what it is. Visco girls? VSCO girls? It's like a fashion thing? Like a fashion trend, I think? I'm not sure what it means. I couldn't really go to understand it, and it's like you carry a specific water bottle and you wear specific outfits and you wear scrunchies, and this came out of nowhere, and when I first saw it, probably at the early end of this year, I was like, what? I don't understand. Are any of you guys out there following this Visco girl trend? Can you explain to me what this trend is? I thought this is really weird because this once again is just one of those things that popped out of nowhere. It really popped out of nowhere, and it's so popular. I guess this girl, who I also don't get what she does, but she's a YouTuber. She's pretty young. Jojo Siwa, I think is how you say her name, and she's a Visco girl. I guess if you went and looked her up, you could see this trend and how it is, and maybe you already dress like that. It seems kind of athletic wear-esque, mixed with a little bit of like 80s and 90s clothing and whatnot in there. It's something I don't understand. Maybe it's because I'm not younger in this generation, but it's so weird to me. I don't know why this specific style became so popular now, and I don't get the style. I don't know what the style is. Sorry if these things are a little more weird to me than probably to you, but I really wanted to talk about some of these weird trends that I've been seeing and weird trends that I went looking for and things that maybe you don't know either. I just think they're kind of good to talk about anyway, just because it is the end of the year. We might as well go over the weirdness that was 2019. I mean, it could have been a lot weirder of a year, let me tell you. It really could have, but I thought we'd bring it a little light this episode and talk about some of the weird, kind of strange, funny things that have happened this year and not go so deep into the other types of weird things that have happened this year. Alright, I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, we'll talk about some more weird trends, maybe some weird challenges that were real popular this year.
Check out the show built around the women of MMA. From the UFC to the extreme cage fighting, we got the fights covered.
Listen.
It's the Golden State Media Concepts Women's MMA Podcast. The latest news of upcoming fights, discussions of previous matches. Join us as we talk to and about the biggest names in women's mixed martial arts. Past, present, and future. When it's the women's fight game, you know where to listen to. The Golden State Media Concepts Women's MMA Podcast.
Welcome back to the GSMC Weird News Podcast. Now, before the break, we talked about some newer weird trends of 2019, things that have happened towards the end of 2019. Now, let's go into some weird challenges that have been going on in 2019. Now, the first one I want to talk about is the bottle cap challenge. It was the challenge where people were unscrewing bottle cap, like water bottle cap lids, with their feet, like kicking it, and they were flying off, and then it started with some kids, I think, and then became super popular among celebrities doing it, and people were parroting it. And who thought of this? I could not find that. It is so weird. Who was like, you know what? I bet I could kick a water bottle cap off this water bottle. You want to bet me? I bet I could do it. It's so weird. It's real strange, real weird, but celebrities loved it. The internet loved it. Some people were doing some real cool stuff with it. Did you do it? I did not. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But it took the internet by storm. Like, by far, it was one of those things that just took the internet by storm. Just took it by storm. And people loved it. I think I still see some people doing it on the internet from time to time. And I like the ones that are jokey. I know there's a few where it's like, it looks like the foot's going to hit it off, but it's really a hand. And they go and unscrew it. And then they're like, yay, I got it off. But there were a lot of cool celebrities that were doing it. A lot of fun things people were doing with it. It's a harmless challenge. It's really a strange thing to think about somebody being like, hey, guess what? I can do this. Can you do this? Kind of thing. But it's definitely one of those more on the harmless side challenges. So I want to move on to another challenge because this one was real popular this year, and this one is probably by far one of the dumbest, not dangerous, but dumbest challenges that I saw this year, and that was the cheese challenge. Now, if you haven't heard about the cheese challenge, it was literally a challenge where parents were throwing slices, like square slices of American cheese, onto babies' heads. What? I just don't understand why they're doing this. I just don't get it. They were taking pieces of cheese and throwing it on the babies' heads, and they were super confused. People started doing it with dogs, and I like that one a little better because then the dog just eats the cheese, and you're like, oh, how cute. But this is probably one of the stupidest things that I saw this year. Why are you throwing cheese at your children? Explain this to me. Stop throwing cheese in your children's head. Can we leave this in 2019 and not bring it into 2020? I haven't seen it as of recently as much, but it's still out there on the internet. Oh man, I don't know. Don't throw cheese at your dogs. Don't throw cheese at your children. Just don't throw cheese at people. Can we get that straight? It's so strange and it's so dumb. I couldn't find who the first person. It is really hard when you're looking up these trends and you're trying to find the person who like started the trends. It's hard to find those people because they become so popular and it's such a wide range of people who've done it at this point and you just don't know. So I don't know who started this. If any of you guys know, tweet me at GSMC_weird news. But other than that, like, I just, stop throwing cheese at your kids. Who was like, this is a great idea. Hey, check this out. I'm gonna take this cheese, I'm gonna throw it at my kid. It's gonna be great. Like, it's gonna be so great. Like, I hate it. I hate it so much. It's just so weird. It's so dumb. Please don't throw cheese at your children. That's what I'm getting across here. Do not throw cheese at your children. Let's move on to another challenge. So I guess this challenge actually started in 2018, but the company didn't send a cease and desist until 2019. So I guess it did go into 2019, probably early 2019. So Bird Box. Remember that movie? Do you remember that? It's on Netflix. It's real good. Love it. But Bird Box. So they had the Bird Box challenge where people were like blindfolding themselves and trying to do things. And this is one of those ones that's dangerous. This is one of those challenges that you're like, please don't do this. It is so dangerous on like another level of danger. Just, and there was a lot of news about this and people saying, stop doing this and stop doing this. But Netflix didn't actually send like a cease and desist, like a please stop. I guess I don't know if you'd call it a cease and desist, but they were just telling people, please stop. Please don't do this because it's dumb and you can hurt yourself. And so the movie came out in 2018, but they didn't send this stop it until 2019. So I still would call this a 2019 trend because it was going into the 2019 era. Please don't. Don't blindfold yourself and do anything. It is just so dumb. And I don't know who got the idea to be like, hey, you saw that movie. I could do that. You want to see me try it? Dude, pull your phone out. We're going to try this and it's going to be so good. No, it's dumb. Who thought, I'm going to blindfold myself and do this? And it wasn't the fact that they were doing it like in a controlled area or something. It's the fact that people were just doing this straight outside or straight in an area that could be dangerous with a lot of stuff in front of you that you could fall over. And it just, man, it's just not kosher. It's just not good for you. It's one of the dumbest things, along with throwing cheese at your children. But this is dangerous. This is like legitimately dangerous and nobody should do it. The same with, there's another challenge, the Kiki challenge, I think it was called. It was a song and people would like jump out of their car and like dance to the song while the music was playing and someone would videotape them and then they get back in their car. That one is super dangerous too. Now, every year there is some type of really dangerous challenge. Tide Pod challenge. That's probably one of the top tier challenges. But I believe that was still in 2018. I don't think anybody brought it into 2019, but I couldn't find otherwise. So, but these are challenges that are so harmful to you. And you really need to like take a step back and look at yourself and what you're doing because sometimes things can be really dangerous. Even the cinnamon challenge from way back when is super dangerous. And it's just like, if you see somebody do something on the internet and you're like, maybe I should try it, take a second before you decide to try it. Don't do something stupid. Please, for the love of God, don't do something stupid. There are so many fun challenges that you could do, like the bottle cap challenge. That's cute. That's a cute challenge, a fun challenge. It's not going to hurt anybody, that kind of thing. Stick with something on the light side. Don't go and do that kind of thing. There was another challenge that kept popping up as 2019, but I believe it was also in 2018. And this one is probably one of the most dangerous ones of all. It was the fire challenge. People would light themselves on fire and then jump into the shower, like cover themselves in something flammable, light themselves on fire, and then jump into the shower. Now, who on earth thinks that this is a good idea? It's not. It's not a good idea. It is one of the worst things you could do. There's so many dumb things and just weird ideas that people are like, hey, I'm going to eat this Tide Pod. I'm going to light myself on fire and I'm going to jump in the shower. Like, check it out. Dude, film me. It's going to be sick. No, don't do that. That was the weirdest voice. I've been doing weird voices all episode and I am so sorry. I am so sorry. But these are the kind of things that you really got to think about before you do them. These are really popular with children, these kind of dangerous challenges, these weird challenges. So if you're a parent out there, my suggestion to you is to go look at what's going on online. Like, do a little digging. Hey, what are the trends? What are the challenges? That kind of thing. And you can kind of find out what's going on and monitor a little bit better. Just be mindful of what's going on the internet because it's just full of weird nonsense that your children who are sponges are soaking up. So please just check what's going on the internet. Check what's going on in the world. Don't do stupid challenges. I'm going to take a quick break. And when I come back, let's talk about some food stuff that was super popular in 2019.
This is your ultimate stop for everything sports. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Should I say more? From the NFL, MLB, the NBA to MMA, it's all in here. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Listen now.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the GSMC Weird News Podcast. Now, before the break, we talked about some weird challenges that were trending in 2019. Now, I want to talk about some, more food-related trends in 2019. Let's start with a specific diet that was super popular in 2019. So, the keto diet, which I kept seeing it everywhere and not understanding what it was and where it came from. It just kind of popped up out of nowhere and everybody's on the keto diet. My sister tried the keto diet. My husband's family, one of them does the keto diet, and it was just, my mom was talking about it. She's a pediatrician. She says you don't need to do it, but I'd asked her about it because I was like, wait, what is this? What is this keto diet? And apparently it's a low-carb, high-fat diet. Now, this was so popular. It just took the internet by storm. Everybody's doing the keto diet. Oh, you wanna be fit and healthy? Keto diet. But the one thing that comes along with the keto diet is because it's low-carb, high-fat, you need to work out while you're, doing it. I don't know, I thought it was real strange. Once again, most of these are just strange because they came out of nowhere. And it is, I guess that's a trend. A trend in itself is weird. Trends are weird. And I never know where they come from, and they just come out of the blue, and they're like, hey, I'm here. Pay attention to me. I don't know. I don't know. So, but let's move on from diets, because there are always some sort of diet that's super popular for that year, and I really think keto diet was 2019's top tier diet. But on that kind of thing, the big thing too this year, and also last year, and it's just becoming more and more of a big thing, is veganism. Now, if you're a vegan, good on ya. Go for it. Do your thing. I love to watch vegan cooking shows because they make food out of the weirdest stuff. And I don't know, it's just really fascinating to me. I couldn't do it. Me personally couldn't do it. I just like to eat meat too much. And if you're a vegan, good for you. That's great. But it was really a trend this year. Like, everyone's going vegan. Everybody's doing vegan. Kevin Smith went vegan. Well, that's because he had a heart attack, and he really needs that healthiness in his life, and his daughter is a vegan activist. Activist. I can word today. This is just slowly, every episode, I'm losing words, let me tell you. I just can't word anymore. But this was something that was really popular this year, and people were going partially vegan or fully vegan, and the raw food diets were really popular. So they're like plant-based. Everything's plant-based in this sense. And I don't know, it just really took things by storm. Is veganism weird? No, but on the note of that, alternative milks became so popular this year. And this is weird to me because, girl, boy, whoever you are, I love milk. I love milk. I've always loved milk since I was a child, and these just came out of nowhere. Like, they've always had alternative milks, but suddenly everything's an alternative milk. And it's been really bad for our farmers. You're really hurting our farmers by drinking these alternative milks. And I understand if you have something where you can't drink milk. If there's something like lactose-wise or otherwise that you can't have the dairy, I get it. You know, I get it. Try your alternative milks, this and that. But don't go full alternative milk. We're hurting farmers, we're hurting people, they're having a hard time. I'm gonna post on our social media a little thing about that because it's been really popular in the news, and that is really weird to me. It's something that you don't think about as much. I know my dad had sent me an article about it. An article. I told you, I'm just losing words. Losing it. I'm losing it the more I do these weird stuff. But he sent me an article about this because he knows I love milk. I just can't help it. Love it. We go through so much milk in my household. But he sent me this article, and I was reading it, and I was just like, man, we're kind of hurting people's livelihood by doing all these alternative milks, these cashew milks, these soy milks, these oh god, there's so many milks, almond milks, anything, nut milks in general, like that kind of stuff. We're hurting farmers, and I thought that was weird. It's weird to think about because you think that they're fine, but they're not. I'll put the link to some sort of article about it, whether it's the same one I read or not. I'll read through it, make sure it's like 100% accurate. Trust me. But I'll link to an article on our Twitter and our Facebook. We're at GSMC_weird news on Twitter, and on Facebook we're GSMC Weird News or Golden State Media Company Weird News, I believe. I'll also link our Facebook in our Twitter. But it's something to think about. These are things that are happening in the world, and we should check it out. I'm not telling you to just stop drinking your alternative milks and go to something different, but drink some milk, man. Help them farmers out. Anyway, let's go on something a little more light food-wise. So, this really took the internet by storm. It took the internet by storm in 2018 as well, but it's really started back up again in 2019, and that's spicy food challenges. Like, lots and lots of spicy food challenges. You got the one chip challenge, there's Hot Ones has all those, and people are recreating their hot sauce challenges, and then just spicy noodle challenges, just spicy challenges, people just eating spicy food. And that was really popular in 2018, but also in 2019, but on a grander scale. And when I'm saying on a grander scale, I'm talking about huge food. Big size food was so popular this year, like hamburgers, but a giant hamburger. But then people are also doing these spicy food challenges, but giant. Like, giant foods just came out of nowhere. Why do we need so many big foods? Where did this come from? It's weird. I can't eat that much food. You can't eat that much food. Why are we making such big foods? I don't get it. It's so weird. It's weird that big foods just became a thing so quick. There's like whole video channels dedicated to big foods. There's websites dedicated to large foods. Just weird foods in general. Big foods. Big foods I don't get, but if you mix big food with spicy food, like that's a lot. I come from a place where spicy food is a big thing. I'm not too good with spicy food, don't know why, never been, but I'm getting better as it goes on, getting a little better with spicy food. I just want to be able to taste my food. I don't want to just taste pure spice death. I don't want death burning mouth, I want tasty food and a little burn. I'll take that. But I don't want to die. I don't want to die from spicy food. Now, I don't know what that was, I'm sorry. But let's talk about something really quick that's not so much food related, but a little Instagram related. But it is a food. The egg. Everybody saw the egg. Somebody created this, I think it was an Instagram, this Instagram out of nowhere, right? They just kind of created this Instagram out of nowhere, and it was just a picture of the egg. And it broke records. It broke records with amount of followers and amount of likes and all that stuff on the internet. The egg broke the internet. What? What is going on? What has our world come to that our most followed influencer is a picture of an egg? I don't get it. It is kind of food related. It's real weird. I'm going to take a quick break, readjust my head a bit, and we will come back and talk about some more weird social media type things and maybe a little fashion things in 2019 that were real popular.
Check out the show built around the women of MMA. From the UFC, Invicta FC, Bellator, and One Championship. We got the fights covered. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Women's MMA Podcast. The latest news of upcoming fights, discussions of previous matches. Join us as we talk to and about the biggest names in women's mixed martial arts. Past, present, and future. When it's the women's fight game, you know where to listen to. The Golden State Media Concepts Women's MMA Podcast.
Welcome back to the GSMC Weird News Podcast. Now, before the break, we were talking about weird trends that were food related. But the last one I talked about was the egg, which is not so much food related, but social media related. I want to talk real social media related, influencer related, weird trends that happened. I mean, all of these are somewhat influencer related trends, but these ones are just real influencer related, I guess. So let's start with dances. Fortnite dances. I have never played Fortnite. I never planned to play Fortnite, but Fortnite took the internet by storm. And dances. These dances, flossing, and I don't know what the other dances are. I only know that one. But they took the internet by storm. And actually, there were people who were trying to sue Fortnite because they were stealing those dances. And these dances that we've seen before started to become popular again. And I don't know, real weird. I don't get it. Real weird. It's just, these dances are everywhere. You're on every social media platform and you're seeing somebody do the floss or whatever other dances are on there. I mean, dances just in general are always somewhat trending. There's always some dance that's trending on social media. Some type of thing like that that's trending on social media. But I think these ones took everything by storm and they're still going strong. So hard. So strong. I know that there was a kid who is like the backpack kid, I think is what he's called on Instagram, and he started the flossing trend, and I think they put his dance into Fortnite, and now he's like maybe a spokesperson for them. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I do know that I believe he started the dance craze of that specific dance. But then everybody was doing those dances from Fortnite because it became so big. Fortnite, it was one of the largest Halloween costumes, just all different types of Fortnite things. I don't understand Fortnite. Do you play it? Let me know. Tweet me. I don't. But I don't get the craze and the hype about it. I've read about it because I'm curious. I love a good video game just like everybody else, but it's not for me. Not for me. But let's move on to another one before I just go off on how I don't understand Fortnite. So another one that actually was real strong in 2018 and just has gone full force in 2019. I don't think this trend is going to stop anytime soon, but it needs to, is the flat tummy tea trends. These are teas that influencers on Instagram and Facebook and all social media platforms are trying to sell you to lose weight. Now, these teas are just gonna get your bowels moving a little bit faster. It's gonna give you that appearance of a flatter stomach because you're not a little bloated from needing to use the restroom, and they're not safe, and then people are like, oh, I'm gonna lose so much weight, and then they just drink and drink and drink and drink these teas. Flat tummy teas are not a good thing, and I really don't see them dying down anytime soon, and I really hate that. This year's been really big on body positivity, which I am all for. But these flat tummy teas are not helping. They're not helping anybody, they're not helping you, they're not helping me. They're just gonna get you going a little bit better. If you need something like that, get an Activia or something. These are just not good for you. That's just what it is. They're not good for you. They're not going to give you these washboard abs or these super flat tummies just like the influencers who are selling them to you. Don't do it. I know that some of the Kardashians have done stuff like that. Also, like appetite suppressant lollipops, which are absolutely terrible. Don't do that. Eat. I love to eat. Food is my favorite thing. Love food. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Eat. Don't overeat. Just eat. I don't appetite suppress yourself. It's dumb. These are so weird to me because they're just, it's one of those things like way back when where they had the things that would shake your fat away. You know, like they're just not gonna work and everybody should see it and nobody should buy it. So don't do any sort of flat tummy teas. If you're having a little problem going, like I said, get an Activia or a Yakult or something. Do something like that. Don't go for a flat tummy tea. Don't do it. Let's move to another one. So another one of the things that was like real big was over the top nails. Now I saw this and I'm like, I love a good nail that looks cool and different and weird and stuff like that, but people are going over the top. And when I say over the top, I'm talking like huge, long, like, how do you do anything with your hands nails? And on top of that, we had furry nails, which is disgusting. They were, like, fuzzy. Ugh. And then, like, chains from a nail to a nail. How are you supposed to move your fingers around? Or just these over-the-top nails, lava lamp nails. You can actually look up a picture of nails that were meant to look like human teeth. That just, like, sends a shiver up my spine. I don't know who started this weird nail thing, and it's just, they're so strange. There's lava lamp nails, just nails with diamonds that are so huge, real diamonds on nails, like, what? I don't get it. You know, somebody who I noticed fell into this kind of thing this year, and it was pointed out a lot on social media, was Billie Eilish. She ended up getting those really long nails, but I think she's taken them off since. I'm not 100% sure. But they've just swept the nation just crazy nails. How crazy can you get your nails? How long and crazy can you get them? Because that is popular. I don't know. I like a good, like I said, I like a good weird nail, but I don't like something that's going so long and so far that you're almost not able to use your hands. I think we're going a little too far. Just a little bit too far, a little too much for me. Weird nails. Do you do that though? Did any of you guys out there have like real crazy long nails? You go to like a nail salon and they put on all sorts of gems or make like lava lamp nails or, you know, something like that. I'm really curious. I go to this place. I don't go often, but there's a place that I like to go to get my nails done. I haven't gotten my nails done since Halloween, but I went to get my nails done for my wedding, and I wanted this muted color that went with my toenails. And she was like, oh, we're going to put diamonds on this nail, and we're going to make this nail look like a lava lamp, and this, and she just went nuts. And I was like, okay, cool. And they looked nice, don't get me wrong, but I was like, man, this is a lot. But they weren't like super long or anything like that. I've also done the acrylic nail thing before. I did it once on my birthday like a year or two ago. And the lady made them way too long, and I spent a good portion of my day just trying to file them down because they were ridiculous and kind of hard to do anything with. I don't know. If you're into this like crazy long or funny looking nail trend, let me know. Like, send me pictures on Twitter at GSMC_weird news, of course. But send me photos of your nails on Twitter. I'm really curious. Any of the guys do it out there? I know it's mostly females, but I'm really curious. Any guys doing it out there? I know Jeffree Star does it, and some drag queens do it, and just some people do it. But do you do it? I know a lot of guys who will go and get manicures just to have a nice thing. They don't wear polish or anything, but do you guys do weird nails? I'm just really curious. I want to see people's nails. Tweet me, like for real, tweet me. Let's take a quick break and then I'll come back with some more weird trends of 2019.
Are you tired of the same old news? Are you sick of the seemingly endless political spin and negativity? The GSMC America's Still Beautiful podcast is a weekly news podcast covering all the top positive and uplifting news stories. We cover stories that will inspire, uplift, and remind you of the good in the world. Tune into the Golden State Media Concepts America's Still Beautiful podcast to get all the great and positive news stories of today. Download the GSMC America's Still Beautiful podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Hello, and welcome back to the GSMC Weird News Podcast. Now, before the break, we were talking about some, like, specific to influencer type trends of 2019. Our whole topic this episode has been weird trends of 2019. Now, most trends I've noticed are just strange in general. They come out of nowhere, they're real weird, so it's kind of like a broad spectrum, and they're just strange. But I want to talk about some ones that kind of don't fit into one specific category. I don't have enough of them to fit them into a specific category. But let's just talk about some random ones. So one thing that I noticed this year, I guess it's more of, I don't know if you'd call this a fashion thing or not, but tooth gems. Tooth gems have become so popular this year. And I'm not talking about just like the one cute tooth gem. Those are popular this year, but people are doing like a whole tooth full of gems. I think it actually looks pretty cool. I think it's strange that someone's like, let's put some gems on my tooth. But I think they're actually pretty cool. I almost got a tooth gem. I thought about it. I found a lady when I went to an oddities expo and I was like, hey, you do tooth gems? And I almost really got a tooth gem. But the only thing that is an issue is I'm worried about my teeth safety, the integrity of my poor teeth. But I do think it's pretty. I think it's cool. I don't know if I'm a big fan of the weird, like, whole tooth being, like, different, like a whole bunch of gems on one tooth. I don't know. Are you into that? Do any of you guys have tooth gems? I just don't know how I feel about them. And would you consider this like a fashion statement? Or is it kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of along the lines of like piercings. Do you consider those fashion or not? Let me know. Tweet me. I'm not sure. Like, I don't know how I feel about it being fashion or if it's should be categorized as something else. Now let's move into something that's definitely, I guess, under the category of fashion, and that's thick, chunky sneakers. Chunky sneakers. And I'm talking like over the top, bubbly, chunky sneakers. I don't know. To each their own. I don't get it. Once again, I don't own any chunky sneakers at all. I don't really know that many people who are wearing the chunky sneakers, but I'm seeing them all over social media, all over the internet. Just these chunky, thick boy sneakers. Like, I don't know. Are you into this chunky sneaker trend? Along with the chunky sneakers, though, I noticed that another big thing that is, like, making waves this year in 2019 was designer Crocs. Like, Crocs came back with a vengeance this year in 2019. I've never liked Crocs, never loved the way they look. I wore Crocs once, and I don't like the way they are on my feet at all. I don't get the Croc thing, but people love Crocs. Especially this year, they're just coming back. Love the Crocs. Why are they back? Do you own Crocs? Because I don't. I know a few people who do own Crocs, and they love them, and I don't own any, and I don't like them very much. I think that's just me, though. I'm not the biggest Croc fan. But why are they coming back with a vengeance? Do you think they're going to stay in 2020? Because I'm not sure about that. I am not sure about that. Now let's move on to some stuff that's not fashion related, but were definitely real popular in 2019. So face tattoos. I guess this kind of falls under the same thing as like piercings and just tattoos in general. And like I said earlier with the tooth gems, I don't think that you would categorize it as a fashion thing. But once again, let me know what you think. What would you categorize this as? Because I don't know if I would also categorize tooth gems as a body modification. But anyway, let's move into the face tattoos. And I'm talking about not just face tattoos, but face tattoos in young people. I don't. I have many a tattoo, and I have many a tattoo I regret and have been in process of covering up, but I could never. I know that it's a lot of these like rappers, these I guess mumble rappers, and people like Post Malone, and who's the guy that just got put in jail and he was snitching on everybody? Tekashi 69, I think he's got like a 69, a huge 69 on his face. But these people are really kind of like paving the way for these face tattoos, and not only just face tattoos, but bad tattoos. Just the aesthetic of bad tattoos. Why? Don't get bad tattoos. If you're going to put something permanently on your body, go for something that you're going to be happy with. I am an advocate at this point in my life for think about it before you tattoo it, because I have, like I said before, I have a good few tattoos that I regret that I got when I was definitely under the age of 18. A few when I was over the age of 18, and I'm such an advocate for think about it. Choose a good tattoo artist, think about it, and think about it when it comes to face tattoos. This is something that, yeah, it may look good on somebody else, but it might not look good on you, and it may look good on you, but this could be an issue with finding a job. Don't just assume you're going to make this big career off of social media or something and then get a face tattoo and not be able to get a real job. I guess technically social media is a real job now, but just be careful. Be careful with the face tattoos and the hand tattoos and whatever you decide to get tattooed. I know that somebody who people have kind of like looked up to this year for bad tattoos was Pete Davidson. Now, I love Saturday Night Live and I love Pete Davidson. I think he is hilarious, but he is one of those guys with just a bunch of bad tattoos, but he loves the aesthetic. I guess, I don't know. I guess once again to each their own, but just think about it. I want you to just sit there and think about it for a minute before you go out and just be like, hey, I want this stick figure times 10 on my arm. Like, just think about what you're doing. Also, don't get matching tattoos. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. Let's move away from tattoos real quick and throw another one in here that was popular for a hot second. It wasn't really a long popularity, but it was popular for a good minute, probably mid-2019. And that was licking ice cream and then putting it back on the shelf. If you are hearing this and you've never heard this before, this is an actual thing. So I think it started with a woman. This video went viral. I'll find it and I'll put it on the Twitter too. But this woman went viral for going into a Walmart, into the like ice cream section, taking out an ice cream, opening the lid and licking it and putting it back. This is disgusting. This is probably one of the grossest things you can do. And then other people started doing it. This woman did get prosecuted for it. And so did a few other people. And it ended up being this huge, like, thing in Walmarts and other stores that the ice cream aisle was really being watched for a minute. I'm really glad that it died out and people aren't doing it. But if you're thinking about doing that because you think it's funny, just don't. Don't lick ice cream that you haven't bought. If you're gonna do that, at least take it and buy it. Like, but still just don't do that because it's gross. Somebody could get your ice cream that you licked and mouths aren't clean. I just want to tell you this. No matter how much you brush your teeth, mouths are not clean. Please don't do this. Alright, I'm going to take a quick break before I just keep going in what you shouldn't do with ice cream, and I will see you after the break.
The GSMC Life and Happiness podcast takes you on a journey of exploration. We'll discuss tried and true methods alongside the latest trends of how to best live your life to its fullest and happiest. From psychology to meditation, science to self-help books, the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast will help you to discover what makes you happy and how you can live life being the best you possible. Download the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Welcome back to the GSMC Weird News Podcast, and we've been talking about weird trends in 2019. Now, there are weird trends every year, different trends every month. It's always strange and a little odd, and some people are really for it and some people are not, and that's just how it's going to be until the end of time. That's just what I'm saying. But I want to talk about some trends that I think we really need to bump up in 2020. Now, one thing that we've been doing in 2019, but I want to see tenfold in 2020, is body positivity. Now, there's been a lot of people out there just really selling this body positivity this year, and I am so for it, and I just want more of it next year. I want every single one of you guys to hype up your fellow man and tell them how great they are. Everybody's body's different. Nobody looks the same. Nobody's gonna look exactly like that photo on that magazine or that Instagram post. Do people even buy magazines anymore? I don't know. But nobody looks like that, and that's okay. It's okay to be comfortable in your own skin. And I think the one that's really been spreading it, like, in the media as of late is Lizzo. I'm not 100% sure who she is. I don't know a lot about her, but I've seen a lot of her, like, really body positive, told you, I'm just gonna lose all words. But her, like, really body positivity, posts and whatnot. I'm all for it. I'm all for body positivity, and I want you to hype up your fellow man in the upcoming 2020 about body positivity. You know what I also want to happen in 2020? I want people to be nice to each other. We just need more positivity in general. I want more body positivity. I just want people to be happy. And I want you to just hype your fellow man. And I want more dog photos. More cat photos. More animal photos. You know what? Tweet me. Tweet me at GSMC_weirdnews and send me animal photos. My camera roll consists of a real good portion of animal photos, especially like weird open mouth animal photos, because my dogs sleep weird with their mouths kind of open and their tongues out, and it's so cute. I just want more animal photos. I want things that are going to make people happy. I want things that are challenges that are going to be less dangerous. Smaller food, but not super small food. I want some positivity in 2020. I really think that we need to bring that into this next year. I want everybody to just really focus on themselves and focus on being happy in 2020. I want more people to drink milk. Regular milk. Help out our farmers. I just want people to help out their fellow man coming up in this 2020 year. That's all I really want for 2020 is just happiness. And I think that's what everybody wants for every year. That's, you know, this and that, and you want this and that. But I really think that I guess I'll throw in a New Year's resolution. Look at that. I never do a New Year's resolution because I never keep them. But I really do think that, like, I guess as a New Year's resolution, something I can do is just be more positive and nice to my fellow human beings. Also, I want less remakes and more original movie ideas. Can we do that? Can we get less remakes and more original movie ideas? I'd love to see that in 2020. I want to see people's creativity just flow in 2020. I want 2020 to be the year of creativity. I'm calling it now, 2020, year of creativity. That's what I'm going to call it. I always, every single year on New Year's, name the next year as something. And I want 2020 to be the year of creativity. 2020, the year of creativity. What do you guys think about that? Year of creativity. How do you feel about that? Tweet me about it. Also, let's get some more happy weird news in here. I want more weird, fun news, if we can get that for 2020. If I could get one wish, can I get some happy, fun, weird news this year instead of some strange, weird? I guess it's going to be strange either way. 2020 is going to be a doozy. Now, I want to know if you guys have any New Year's resolutions or anything like that. I want you to send me, tweet me, Facebook me, Instagram me. Well, don't Instagram me just yet. We are in the middle of working on our Instagram at the moment, and we'll have it back up and running soon. I will tweet you guys and let you guys know about that when it's all up and running and ready. But I want you guys to just let me know what your New Year's resolutions are if you do make them. And even if you don't make New Year's resolutions, what do you want to see happen in 2020? Let me know what you want to go on in 2020. What, fashion trends you want to see in 2020. I don't know. What do you want 2020 to be? I want it to be full of happiness and joy and creativity. What do you want? What are you hoping to accomplish in 2020? Let me know. And guys, I just want to thank you guys so much for letting me be a part of your day. Thanks for listening. Thanks for just sitting down and having a good conversation with me. Thanks for being there. Thank you for letting me do this. Thank you for letting me sit here and talk to you for an hour and just let you know about some weird stuff. I want to thank you guys so much for listening to the GSMC Weird News Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. And I really hope you guys have a great new year. I know we're going to have a few more episodes before the actual new year, but tweet me and let me know what you're doing on New Year's. Just thank you so much. Let's have a conversation on our social media. My name's Colleen, and I will see you next time. Have a great, weird day.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Weird News Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.